What it do, YouTube? It's your boy, ItsKheals, and we are back with Yashahime Princess Half Demon, episode 11 review and discussion. And if you're enjoying the content, please leave a like and subscribe to your boy. We on the road to 100. Be on that road to greatness with me, you know? But let's get right into it, man. This was a pretty okay filler to me in terms of progression with Setsuna's her personality after seemingly remembering a little bit of her memories. In turn, kind of starts off, she's playing the violin around Towa. Towa even has a little recalling of a sense of unity that they had from the previous episode with Setsuna taking the lead on destroying Lady Joker. After that, Moroha is seen pretty much making almost instant, well, it looks like it's instant pancakes, which she then eats without a beverage, no sort of drinks or nothing at all. She runs to this muddy looking pond to drink out of it, I guess. Towa stops her, but in the middle of being chastised by Towa for even thinking to drink from a dirty pond, she witnesses a bird flying over it, getting devoured by the pond. And she tries to tell Setsuna and Towa about it. They don't believe her, which falls into a gripe that I still have with this show, and I'm gonna continue to have it until they do something about it, of just setting Moroha up to be this comedic relief that's not really involved in anything. I don't understand why they're taking that route with her. I think they're having her go through this comedic relief now, and I'm hoping it's because later on the episodes are going to be more Moroha centered more around her, and probably what happened with Inuyasha and Kagome. So I think they're trying to build up the personalities and the storyline and the plots and tie those up with Setsuna Towa first. And I think we're gonna get more into the Sesshomaru, the Kirinmaru storyline, what happened with Inuyasha and them a little bit later. So for now, it's still funny. Again, she's like the only comedic relief in the whole show, so I see why they kind of dig their toes 10 foot deeper in and just entrench her into this role. You can still do so much better, and I'm hoping that the plan is for that to happen later down the line for the rest of the season, hopefully. Still, for Towa and Setsuna to treat her like this continuously, only to then be somehow, some way roped back into whatever's going on anyway. I don't understand it. I just don't. It makes no sense for me that they will say, okay, well look, you're doing the bounty hunter thing, peace again, we're leaving again, and then somehow, some way be tied back into the root of the issue regardless. But they leave. Towa, Setsuna, they go back to the Demon Slayer village. Moroha goes back to Jubi. At the Demon Slayer village, they're told of the same exact pond by Kohaku that has been eating anything, just animals, people, birds. And when they hear birds, they both go back in their mind to when Moroha was telling them about the whole incident about the bird being eaten by the pond anyway. And then it's like, oh yeah, well, she wasn't joking around. There underlines a problem. You always portraying her to be joking around, to the point that even the other two main characters don't even take her serious. And if they don't take her serious, how are new viewers who are trying to get into the show themselves supposed to take her serious? And then the two main characters, their personalities aren't even really entertaining. Like Setsuna, we're just getting some sort of progression with her in this episode now. 11. Episode 11 is when we're getting shy, bashful, I'm uncomfortable with being put on the spot Setsuna, and that's 11 episodes in. I think this is slated for 24. We're halfway there. And Towa's personality is, I'm going to get my sister memory back. I'm naive sometimes to the world of feudal Japan and demons. Moroha is like, hey, I'm funny. but I have a tragic backstory where I don't know my parents. I have dreams of them, of what probably could be, should be, or what I hear from Miyoga or Kaede and everybody else that has memories and actual experience of being around my parents. That's all I'm saying. Give her something, man. But yeah, they go back to the pond. In the process, they run into Hikamaru and his little sister Chiyo, who are having an argument, and we get the backstory of these two. Both their parents were eating by the pond as well. The father being a biwa player, which is in my head seems to be the feudal Japan version of the violin that Setsuna plays, and even later on you kind of see it looks like it. So that's what I'm going off of. If you guys know the more concrete definition of what that actually is, put that in the comment section. Educate me. All I know is that I play a guitar. That's it. I play a guitar and I'm okay with a piano here and there. That's about it. But yeah, they do that, and Moroha, in the search to find both of them, since they did not return to the village when Moroha went to go find them, she goes searching for these guys, and she didn't know that they actually spent the night at the grandparent of the two kids, their home, where you also get this again. You see the subtle personality switch that they're doing with Setsuna. Both the kids, again, their father being a biwa player, they see Setsuna's violin and pretty much beg her to play. And you kind of see where, again, she's not used to being put on the spot. It's uncomfortable for her, but she still does it. And even just the facial expressions that she make, it's different. And am I the only person who notices the animation with the ears? In a way, it kind of threw me off this episode. I know people said something about Miroku in the first episode and his ears. I kind of saw it there too, but for me, it wasn't really all that noticeable until this episode. Like, at certain angles of looking at Setsuna, especially like front face sometimes, or a little slight angle, you see her ears is just out there. Just out there. But yeah, fast forward to them going to slay the demons. They almost caught me because I was ready to rage about this episode. They run into two demons. It's not just one that lives in the pond, it's two. Venom Serpent and Drifting Pond. Drifting Pond being the one that ate the bird previously that Moroha saw. Venom Serpent being a whole entirely other demon. They run into Venom Serpent first, and it attacks with this poison mist, which Towa pretty much blocks in the beginning. And even prior to that, Moroha comes in and they tell her that, yo, we're about to slay this demon. And previously in the episode, she was cleaning Gyubi's house, and she was so pissed about that. But then Takachiyo, little raccoon dog, who I totally dislike at this point. I think I don't want to dislike him because, he gives me the Shippo vibes, but even Shippo was more likable than Takachiyo right now. But prior to that, she was mad. She's like, why am I cleaning this house? I'm a bounty hunter. And Takachiyo's like, yeah, but what bounties have you been bringing back lately? Y'all been killing, y'all been slaying, but you haven't been bringing them back. And he's pretty much berates her. So she gets wind of slaying demons. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna do this right now. I'm not cleaning. I'm tired of cleaning houses no more. We're gonna do this. And even her facial expression in the animation was hilarious at that too. But she takes out her weapon. The Venom Serpent comes in, pretty much almost one hits her, and she's out of the fight. She can't move. The poison mist incapacitates her. It doesn't hurt her as much as it probably should, because there was a sage that came and laid medicinal herbs around the pond. You don't see it anywhere else around the pond, but this one little corner of the pond where it was supposed to be blessed to keep demons out didn't do much, because there's two now. But maybe it's because there was two that it wasn't as effective. But there's medicinal herbs that a sage put in the pond that was supposed to keep them away, and she lands in it, and kind of, I guess that explains why she wasn't as harmed as she probably should have been. Even Setsuna gets hurt by the mist. Again, Towa blocks it. The mist sprays everywhere. Towa's pretty much unharmed, but Setsuna is hurt. And by hurt, I mean, like, you know, she's weak. She's on one knee. She's like, what's going on? Towa's like, I guess I'll do it. And at that moment, I was pissed. I was like, another episode where modern Japan Towa, Half Demon Towa, is going to steal the show and beat a demon that shouldn't really be that big of an issue for a demon slayer and a bounty hunter. I was ready to give up on this episode, but then Drifting Pond comes along, the actual first demon we run into. He gives his attack, and again, Towa blocks it, but this time it's more of water from the pond, which has been mixed with Drifting Pond's venom, seems to be what slows Towa down. She's coughing, she's on her knee now, but Setsuna's not affected. And Miyoga pretty much explains that there's different type of venom resistance. Moroha is being pretty much one-shotted by the poison mist meant, in Miyoga's terms, that she's not very good when it comes to poison mist venom resistance, which is why she couldn't do anything. Setsuna as well, which is why she couldn't do anything. But Towa's resistance was actually poison mist, which is why she was the best person to go ahead and deal with Venom Serpent until Drifting Pond came along, and now liquid venom, liquid poison, is her detriment. And now she can't do anything, but Setsuna's it wasn't confusing, but me explaining it, I'm probably losing you guys, and I'm kind of losing myself, because then what venom resistance does Moroha has? Because we didn't see her get hit with the liquid venom. We don't know, but they both come together. They use their advantage and their strengths to take out both Drifting Pond and Venom Serpent. You see the biwa in the ground at the bottom of the pond, and I was expecting a cliche anime moment where they get the biwa, they hand it to the kids, and the grandmother be like, hey, this is your dad's, bury it, you know, pray over it, bless it, or something like that. But we don't get that. They slay the demon, the pond comes back clear, the biwa stays at the bottom of the pond, which I think was a waste. Cliche had they done that way, but I guess it was a nice little twist at the end. It's like, nah, we're not going that route. But again, Towa plays the violin at the end. Towa and Moroha high-fiving each other. They're like, hey, we just did it. Yeah, we got it done. They high-five each other. Yeah, yay. And Towa turns to Setsuna, and she gives the high five. Setsuna almost does it and catches herself and gives this like little embarrassed, awkward facial expression. And Towa's like, you're not gonna do it? And she's like, you're annoying. Even stuff like that. It's subtle, but it's progress. All we want is progress. Give us something to believe in her character, other than she's just Sesshomaru's daughter and a carbon copy of it at that. I'm glad that we got some sort of progression. I don't like how they treat Moroha. I'm glad they didn't leave the fighting all to Towa. I'm glad there was some type of strategic tag teaming, whatnot. I'm glad. It wasn't that bad. If I had to rate it, I'll probably give it like a 6 or 7. It wasn't bad. It wasn't clear out amazing, but it wasn't awful. So about 6 or 7, I think it's pretty good. And the preview, oh man, the preview. I'm gonna make a separate video about the preview, but the previews for the episode 12 looks to be something that I've been wanting to know for a while. I've been wanting to know about that for a while, and we're gonna seem to get some sort of explanation next week on that as well. So that's gonna do it for this week's episode review of Yashahime Princess Half Demon. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe. Y'all see the mic right here. I got some good quality. Join the ride. We're on the road to 100 subscribers, man. So it's been ItsKheals. See you guys in the next video. Peace.